Hello, I'm Veronica and welcome to I'd Rather Be Cooking. In this episode, I'll be making pico de gallo and guacamole for Latin dishes such as empanadas, which you can find in another episode on my website. Or you can just serve these with chips or tortillas or anything else you'd like. So stick around and I'll show you just how easy it is to make pico and guacamole from scratch. Now both the pico and the guacamole have the same base ingredients. I've removed the ribs and seeds from a jalapeno, which is where most of the heat is kept. But if you like it really spicy, by all means, keep those in. So finely mince the jalapeno and then just put half into each of the bowls. Next, I diced up a tomato, which I also seeded just so it's not too liquidy. I use a larger dice at first for the pico, and then a finer dice on the other half for the guacamole. We'll go ahead and add those to the bowls. And then you do the same for the onion. I'm only using half of a medium onion, a fourth of which is finely diced for the guacamole, and the other quarter at a slightly larger dice for the pico. I usually put a clove of garlic into each one of these, but you can use one for both or none at all. It really just depends on your taste. We're going to make a paste with this. For those of you who really don't know how to do that, start by mincing the garlic like I've done here. Next, sprinkle liberally with some salt and grind it down with the side of your knife like this until you get a nice paste. Okay, now that we've got a nice paste out of this, you just want to put half into each of your bowls. For the avocado, I've got a Hass avocado here. You want to pick one that's a little soft to the touch, but you don't want to be able to squish it too easily. A good method to check the color of the inside is to remove this stem part. And if it's green underneath and also gives a little to the touch, then it'll most likely be a perfect avocado. So rather than dicing it up, I like to squeeze it into the bowl. I've already got the avocado cut in half here. And I prefer just squeezing it into the bowl like this, just because it's a little easier, and I also like the look and the texture of the final mixture. You still end up getting some chunks in the mix, but it's not 100% uniform. Now we'll put some lime juice into each bowl. This not only adds the tangy flavor, but it also keeps the avocado from turning brown. There's already some salt in the garlic paste, but if you feel it needs more, you can add some now. I also like to add some chili powder, some ground cumin, and just a little bit of ground coriander. And the last thing I add is some fresh chopped cilantro. Now I know some people don't really like cilantro, in which case you can add some fresh chopped parsley instead, or just leave it out altogether. So just stir the pico to combine. And with the guacamole, mash the avocado meat with the back of your fork, leaving some chunks here and there. And there you have it. These are pretty easy to make, so consider making them rather than buying. This tastes 100% better, and it also impresses your friends since you made it from scratch. That's it for this episode of I'd Rather Be Cooking. I'm Veronica, and I'll see you next time.